Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing, and if you are here for the first time, may I request you to subscribe, and I assure you, you will not be disappointed. Well, on special demand, I have come up with a special video today. This is regarding the sub-contest rounds. You know, in every competition, there are certain titles which you win, and people wonder how you win those titles. So those titles are won through sub-contest rounds. So let me explain about those sub-contest rounds to you today. Well, pageant is not just a one-day affair, that you go, or two-day affair, or a one-week affair. Especially when you go for Miss India, you go and stay there for a couple of days. And all through those days, your days are full of activities. Either you are shooting, or you are visiting, or you are being groomed, or there are some competitions happening, or some learnings of different kinds are happening. So it's a very, very busy time for all of you. And believe me, those few days which you will spend there would actually be very life-changing, would be a great experience which you will never forget throughout your life. Your performance, your personality, you as a person would be judged at each and every spot. So your competition actually doesn't happen on those last few days. It starts right from the time you enter the grooming period. And so your performance are being checked through various activities and through various competitions which are held during this time. Since you have asked me about the sub-contests, so let's first understand what is the meaning of sub. Sub means small, mini. So sub-contest is a mini contest. It's a small contest, but it is still a contest. You will have to compete for it. So there are a variety of sub-contests or mini contests which happen before you have the major contest or the grand finale. Don't take these sub-contests lightly, because you get a chance to win a title, and that title can take you a long way in your life if you're wanting to get into the field of glamour or beauty. So even having a little title by a brand or by a big company will actually help you a lot in this journey. And the most interesting and important part is that some of the girls who actually win the subtitles have a very strong chance of making it to the finalists, the top 10 or 12 or 15, whatever, finalist list. So don't take sub-contests lightly. So you may wonder how many sub-contests happen for Miss India. The answer is, it all depends on the sponsors. So who is a sponsor? A sponsor is a person or a brand or an organization which pays for that event or which pays for that activity. Their contribution can be in the form of money, in the form of service, in the form of assignment, or in the form of a gift. So all those people who offer these are called sponsors. So who can be the sponsors for Miss India? It could be a cosmetologist, it could be a dermatologist, it could be a gym, it could be a designer. Anybody and everybody who offers something special for beauty can be your sponsor. You will wonder, why would a sponsor want to give money or gift or whatever for that contest? The answer is that it's a business. So they will earn through you, and you get assignments through them. So it's a win-win situation for all of you. So not only does the sponsor get benefited, but you get benefited, and in turn the Miss India organization also gets benefited. So it's kind of a earning, a means of earning for all of you. And most of the sponsors, the people who sponsor a particular event, could be the judge for that particular event. So they are going to really look at you very closely and pick up somebody who will be beneficial for their own business. So now that you have understood what is a sub-contest and who are the sponsors and what is the purpose of having a sub-contest, now let's understand some of the major sub-contests which happen for Miss India. The one which is on top of my list is Miss Multimedia. Multimedia, somebody who's digitally active, somebody who's a people's person. How do you interact with people? How do you respond to their queries? How do you project your image, you as a brand? How do you project the brand of the organization? All these little things are noticed, and that is why they ask you for your Instagram and your Facebook handles, so that they can keep a close eye on the activities you do digitally. You know, world is a small thing now, it's just shrunk into our palms. So in that little mobile, how do you interact with people? You know, how active you are on your various social platforms. So it's a very, very important contest. Another very, very important sub-contest is Beauty with a Purpose. You all know Miss India is all about beauty with a purpose, because most important thing about Miss World is that they work for humanity, beauty with a purpose. Now initially what was happening when the things were normal and when you were given the Beauty with a Purpose project, what they were doing is they were sending you a form. Now that form was in a form of a template in which there were certain questions they were asking about what is your cause, how it is going to help the humanity, who are the team members, where do you see this going, what is the vision, and so many questions about whether it is originated from you, whether it is a branch of some other cause. And so many questions are there which will actually clarify to them what exactly is your beauty with a purpose, the roadmap. And once they receive the form, then they will ask you for your presentation, that is the pictures or the videos or testimonials, whatever are there attached to your cause, and then you will have to give them a presentation. So once you give them a presentation, there will be a jury who's going to sit there, and they will shortlist certain causes which they like, and then will be round 2, where again there will be a lot of questions from a different panel of jury, and then they will decide the winner for Beauty with a Purpose. But now that you can't go out and you can't do things on your own, so now the format has changed a little bit. Now what is the format? The format now is that you have to work for a keto cause. Now keto is an organization which collects money to help people. You know, if somebody is sick or somebody is needy, they donate the money to them. So what you will have to do is to find ways and means to collect money for keto, and the one who collects the highest number of amount of money will actually get Beauty with a Purpose title. And the best part is that she gets the chance to get the direct entry in the top finalists of Miss India, that is the 1 to 10 or 12, 15, whichever ones will go for the next rounds. So she gets the direct entry. But Beauty with a Purpose has to be very, very original. Remember, don't ride on somebody else's cause. Think of something which starts from you and then becomes a legacy. A very, very important sub-contest. The next very important contest is Miss Photogenic, in which they will see how good you look on camera. So there will be a lot of shoots in your club wear, in your formal wear, in different kinds of attires, and they'll pick 2 headshots, and in that they will see how charismatic you look on camera, how your angles are, how your poses are, how confident you are in front of camera. So for this you need to practice your posing, you need to find which is your best angle, come up with some creative poses, work on your smile, and just speak through your body language. And you know, this is an important sub-contest, because the one who has a model-like face and is actually looking beautiful on screen gets very good assignments in future. So do work hard on being Miss Photogenic, and it's an art you can learn to develop. Practice makes you perfect. The next subtitle is Miss Fashion Icon, and in Miss Fashion Icon Initially what they were doing is they were keeping an eye out for you. How you arrived, what you were wearing, what you wore at the airport, what you wore in the classes, what you wore in the city visit, sponsor visit. So they were keeping an eye on your styling, on your dresses, on your accessories and all that stuff. And they were scoring you accordingly, that who is the one who actually knows about styling. But now that that activity may not happen, so now there are sponsors who will send you stuff and they will ask you to use that stuff to create some style, and you will have to submit that video. So that video has to be very creative with your style, and if they like what you have done with the products which you send them, you land up with Miss Style Icon. Miss Fit and Fab, where they will check your fitness regime. Initially in the classrooms they were giving you some activities like bench press and push-ups, and they will pick up Miss Iron Maiden. But now that the classroom is not happening, they would want you to submit a video showing your fitness regime every day. So whatever you pick up, whether it's yoga, running, Pilates, gym, whatever, you will have to submit a video about your daily activity, how much do you work out, and about your body and stuff. So they will decide after looking at this video who is going to win Miss Fit and Fab. Also initially for Miss Fit and Fab, there was this Bennett University was one of the big sponsors, and they used to organize a sports day or something like that, where the girls had to go and perform, matches like badminton, hockey, football, and then they used to pick up the winners from there. But now things have changed drastically. The next one is Miss Ramp Walk. Very, very important. A girl who can really put the ramp on fire would be the best winner. So how you walk, your poise, your grace, your body language, your X factor as you walk, the rhythm with the music, whatever it takes to have a great ramp walk, a unique ramp walk, will definitely get this ramp walk, and it's a very important round. The next one is Miss Lifestyle, in which you will be given a quiz on a brand, a luxury brand, or about lifestyle, about fashion. You might have to sit in front of a jury which will ask you certain questions, and based on the knowledge which you tell them, they will pick up Miss Lifestyle. Another sub-contest which you have is Miss Beautiful Smile. Now this is again very important, because beauty queens are all about smiles. So what they would be seeing is your oral hygiene, and what is the color of your teeth, are they balanced or not, the length of the teeth, and overall smile, and how real your smile is, how charismatic your smile is. So a lot of things they will be checking in your smile. So if you feel that you don't have a good smile, I would suggest that you get a smile designing done, or if you feel that your teeth are uneven or something, get braces, and if you think they are discolored, get them whitened, because it's again a very important competition. The next one is Miss IQ. So in Miss IQ, they ask you certain questions about current affairs, or they'll give you some situation for you to solve or something like that. They just want to see how you use your knowledge, how you use your intelligence to solve that. So Miss IQ. Another interesting one is Miss Shining Star. Initially, when things were normal, Miss Shining Star was picked up by the kind of folio you have submitted, your extracurricular activities, how much of an all-rounder you are in whatever you do. So they used to go through each and every folio and see who is an absolute all-rounder and will get this Shining Star thing. But now that since it's not happening, so now this year in 2020, Roposo app was the main sponsor. So they were the ones who were where your videos were being put, and the videos were public, so people were looking at those videos and posting their comments and likes, and based on the likes and the voting, they had picked up the Miss Shining Star. Then there is Miss Beautiful Eyes. So how expressive your eyes are, and how you speak through your eyes, and a whole lot of things, how balanced your eyes are, all that stuff they would be seeing as beautiful eyes. There's Miss Body Beautiful, where they will see the ratio and the proportion of your body. It shouldn't be too curvy, or it shouldn't be too thin or too flat. So they'll be seeing how balanced your body is. Then there is Miss Beautiful Skin, which is about how beautiful your skin is, how transparent, how glowy, how much of elasticity, how moisturized your skin. So they will be checking on your skin. So Miss Beautiful Skin. Then last year they had come up with Miss Holistic Health, where VLCC was the sponsor. So the girls, the final 15, the ones who were the finalists, actually had to visit the center of VLCC, where their body analysis were done and the BMR and their complete fitness was checked, and then they picked up this Miss Body Beautiful from there. And from all those tests, they picked up Miss Holistic Fitness. So as I said, these are all contests. They can add more, they can subtract from this, depending on the sponsors. So there are certain things which are in your hand, you can do, you can change, but there are certain things which are not in your hands. So just try and put in your 100% in whatever you are preparing for. Keep all these things in mind, that these all are the contests which they are checking. Of course, there are no scoring. They will be scoring for this sub contest done, but these scores will not be added in the final round. However, if you win these contests, you will definitely be noticed by people. You will get a lot of media coverage, you'll get noticed, you'll get a lot of assignments. So you will become a face. So it's important that even though they are called sub-contests, they are equally important. I hope this helps. If there's any question you have, don't forget to mention them in the message box, and I'll try my best to answer. And if you still haven't clicked that subscribe button, then do subscribe, so that whenever I post something, you get to see them first. And also, if you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook, that will really be nice. So till I meet again, take care of yourself, stay safe and stay positive.